Hey folks, Gene here from GenoTac Industries. Today I'm going to be talking about some modifications you can do for your Glock that are actually practical and functional. The modifications are more geared toward the law enforcement, concealed carry crowd. So now obviously you can modify your Glock all the way up to it being a race gun. Aftermarket slides, aftermarket barrels, springs, aftermarket frames, and aftermarket internals. Those things are going to cost a lot of money to make the gun actually work. No, you're going to have to tune it and all that good stuff. But just simple things that you can add and do to your Glock to make it a better gun for you. From my experiences anyway. I got two things I complain about on the Glock pistol. For one is the stock grips. The stock grips are really, really slippery. They're not tactile whatsoever. There's no rubber like the SIGs or wooden grips that you can add on like a 1911. I have sweaty hands. You know, when I shoot a Glock, it usually slips in my hand. So there's a couple things you can do to that in order to make it fit you better. I know Glock tried to fix that with their RTF frames, but to me, I actually held one. I've shot one. It seems a little too sharp. The little pyramids that are on the grip are uncomfortable per se. Now there's a couple things you can do to add on to the Glock. I'm going to talk about my experiences on it. When I first started shooting, I wanted my Glock grip to actually feel better, so I bought a Hogue slip-on grip, thinking it was going to be great. Yeah, it's rubber. It was more tactile. But for a couple things that I complained about was that yes, you had to slide it on, and it made the stock Glock grip thicker. It added a lot of width to the Glock grip. Another thing was that the Hogue slip-on grip, it's slip-on, so it would have a tendency to slide on, would have a tendency to twist on the grip, and actually a tendency to ride up. This would actually hinder your function of your mag release, and if it slid up any higher, it could probably hinder your trigger controls. So I thought it was a great grip until I actually had experiences with it, and I took it off the gun and threw it away. Second thing I went with was a grip. I don't know if most of you all know about the A-grip. They used to be all about the hype about 5, 6, 7 years ago. What it is, it's a suede-like material that actually wraps around your Glock pistol. I'm going to show you an outline. I don't have it on a gun right now, but I'm going to show you an outline of where it was. Okay, it covered the whole bottom of your grip all the way to the top of the slide. There was a cutout for the slide release. It came over this way and covered your trigger. No, sorry. It covered your mag release all the way down to the top of the trigger guard here, and all the way around the pistol back to the top right by where the slide is. And it covered the back piece right here too. It did an overlapping about ½ an inch over itself to make it kind of seal. It was a very good grip, very comfortable grip, very soft grip. Since it was like a suede material, it felt real good. It felt veloured. You veloured your Glock because it was soft. It was nice. The older my A-grip got, I think it stayed in my gun for about 1.5 years. It started, adhesive on the back started, coming off. Where the overlapping section actually started peeling off, I'd had to push it back on, and it'd peel off again. Now, one good thing about the A-grip actually was while the gun was wet, it felt a little bit more tactile. So the wetter the grip got, the sweater your hands got, the stickier the grip got. So, which was good, but it was $25, $20 add-on. But you're gonna have to buy multiple grips in order to make it work and worthwhile. Obviously, it was a good grip, but yeah, it wasn't permanent, so I took it off. And then I went with a decal grip. Another company out there is Talon Grips too. I'm not getting sponsors by them to name their brand's name, so they're just reviews that I've done and experience I've had with them. So Talon Grip and decal grip, pretty much what it is some sort of skateboard tape, sandpaper type tape, grip tape. I know they have the rubber texture and sandpaper texture, but it's cut out perfectly to what your Glock model is, and you tape it on. I went cheap on that, and I actually bought a whole roll of skateboard tape and made a template and cut it out myself, and it fit great. Problem with that, it's adhesive. Like any adhesive, when it gets hot and when it gets humid, the adhesive tends to not work. So that peeled off. I tried to glue it back on. Obviously it didn't work. I took that off. Now with this modification or this add-on, I would say you need to have some sort of artistic abilities in order for you to do this. Stippling. I have a video that I made a couple years back. I don't know if y'all looked at it. If you search back in my videos, you can see me actually doing this specific Glock and stippling it. A very, very good permanent mod. It's not an extreme mod, I would say. Yes, it's only extreme mod if you make it extreme. A couple tips on the stippling I would do is don't press too deep. You know, lightly and quick. As you can see here, I did this with a very, very fine tip on the heat gun, soldering iron, and it came out looking great. I don't like the deep gouges or the big designs like the flat tips or the extra large round tips. If you pay attention to a little detail, you can tell I actually did, you know, the edges right here. Here's another one I did over the mag release and continued onto the top and came around. I also did the bottom of the trigger guard where it'd fill over here a little bit. I did not do any of the sides of the slide, and will not do any of the sides of the slide because that would hinder drawing, reholstering on holsters to do, especially with Kydex. I think it would hinder the Kydex process. So the drawing and reholstering process. Leather, it's definitely going to stick on a leather holster if you stipple here on the side, as it's going to add more stickiness to the gun. So that's one of the main improvements that I've done. Another thing I complain about Glock's stock coming from the factory is the sights. You know, they come with plastic sights with the white dot in the front and the U on the back. I've upgraded my sights. Now, you can usually upgrade this yourself. You know, most sights have a screw, a tab screw at the bottom, or a screw at the bottom of the front sight where you can unscrew, Loctite, and then put the new sight on. With the rear sights, usually, you know, you're going to need a Glock sight tool, and when you set it, there's a set screw on there that you can lock it in. These are the Heine Slant Pros, I think. Very big rear sight and very tall front sight. It's got the vertical vertical lines on there, but I've done a little thing to this where I painted the front orange and the back red. Put a red U on there just for contrast, pick up sights faster. And it's not like you can't pick up sight picture fast on this type of sights anyway. But another good improvement for it. I know Heine also makes a straight 8 version, which is a night sight version. A dot on the top of the front sight and a dot at the bottom of the U over here. You line it up to the figure 8. And you get your sight alignment there. Another night sight that I use for my Glock 35 is the Trigicon night sights. Yes, tritium, gas filled, 3-dot. A lot of y'all know this already, but yeah, that's another good thing. I like how the rear sight has a big ledge right there where you can, you know, rack on something, edge of table, your boot, your belt, whatever you want to do for one-handed slide releases, other than using the slide release, obviously. Now, a couple add-ons just from stock parts of Glocks. Little things I did, I switched out. I took off the extended slide release on my Glock 35. I use a very high grip on my Glock, and when I'm shooting, I tend to activate the slide release. So I took the extended slide release to make that more low profile. I kept the extended mag release on my Glock 35 that I use at work. I do have long fingers anyway, but it's still way easier with the extended mag release. I had an extended mag release on my Glock 19, but I took that off and went for the stock one. I actually want to find one that is shorter than this or even rounder than this, for the simple fact that this is my off-duty gun and I use an inside a waistband holster most of the time with this. And when I had the extended mag release, I've a couple times engaged the mag release and the mag came out. So that's a simple, additions to your Glock that you could do. Nothing costs too much. Another add-on, weapon light. I would suggest everybody, if you carry every day, at least have two options, one with and one without your weapon holster. Okay. I would stay away from the cheap weapon lights out there. I'm not going to name brands, but yes, stay away from them for the simple fact that it's hard to find holsters that actually fit the budget weapon lights. Holster companies out there are not going to mass produce holsters for them. Now, if you call me, I can obviously make you one, but yeah, if you want to, get a light, get something that's name brand, that's mainstream out there. I usually tend, I started with the Insight M3, and I've stuck with Insight since then. I've had the M6, M6S, Insight Procyon, WX150, and now I have the Insight WL1AA. Simple fact that for the upgrade, a very good locking mechanism. It's a throw lever or a lock lever. Comes right off, snaps right into place. Another thing with this is it's double ace. Double ace. Another weapon light that's went away from the CR123 batteries. Now, I know CR123s are readily available at Walgreens or Walmart, but they're usually 4 times more expensive than double A's. So, yes, the profile is a little longer on it, but I'd give profile for power source any day. I can buy a pack of double A's and not worry about breaking the bank. So there, folks. There's a couple additions to my Glocks that I've done, a couple modifications that I've done to make the gun fit for me. Now, I've just showed you some of it. Obviously, I'm not advocating that you actually do this. You actually have to try it and make sure it works for you. I'm just letting you know my experiences on some of the modifications that I've done to my pistols. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And again, thank you for watching.